Got a review for the FitcamX dashcam, which the company has sent in. This particular range is for an integrated model, so they pretty much match the OEM appearance of the car. As you can see, the camera is built into the moulding, so that means to say that the installation should be pretty straightforward. And they do supply a micro SD card. So the dash camera will work off the car's power, and you're going to be using these plugs to just connect it to the system. If you go onto their website, you'll also see they do different colours and shades, so make sure you match it up with the one which fits your car. Some of them are cream grey or black plastic. For some reason they do include this phone holder with an integrated mount and arm. If you didn't have one of those, you now do. It's perfectly okay in terms of the quality. And we're just going to move on to the user manual so you can have a look at that. There's your QR code, so you can scan that, get an installation video, and also download the app. You might have different connections for different vehicles, so just bear that in mind. In the other box, we have a couple of accessories. This blue one is a tool, which is probably going to be more useful if you have the model which has the rear camera. They also give you a USB-C and a memory card reader. This is a Mercedes E-Class. Unfortunately, it's not mine. YouTube doesn't really pay that well. But I'll just give you an idea of fitting this. It's pretty straightforward. Once that's off, I'm just comparing both of them, and they're pretty close in terms of the colour shade. Just going to remove the power connector, and that plugs into one of the connectors on the unit. Move that up into position. You'll see the other plug goes into the system power. A little bit of jiggling around, but it isn't too hard. You just need to find the lugs where it attaches to, and then it clicks into place. Then just finish off with that small insert at the top section, which is just behind the mirror. And there you go, that's the job done. It really is much easier than it would be for trying to route around a system and plug it into the fuse box, for example. Of course, you're going to see the camera and lens at the front, but it does, I think, look quite tidy compared to a normal dash camera, which you'd be fitting. Here's some information on the app installation. Using Wi-Fi, we're connecting directly to the dash camera, and that will give you your live feed. It takes a few seconds to come through, and there you go, you can see it on screen. You can also manually take a clip or a picture if you want to, scroll through some of the recorded videos and play them back. Of course, you're going to get a better signal if you're closer to the vehicle. With the playback, you've options to download that or take a screenshot, delete it, or you can also zoom in. Of course, it's going to be a bit easier to rotate it around horizontally if you want to see more detail, so I'll just flip that around. Haven't had any major issues with the app. It seems to be quite reliable. And then of course you can go in and browse around for some of the screenshots that you have taken. Also has a separate tab for locked. That means to say if you've manually locked it or if it's detected something and recorded it. And parking, we have some options for those in the menu system. Just going into the camera settings, pretty standard. We have some options for sound, different resolutions for photo and video. You're also able to adjust the loop recording length. Also add the watermark. The WDR stands for wide dynamic range, or evidently it stands for that. I've been finding that the medium setting is perfectly fine for the collision and the parking sensitivity. But of course you can play around with that as you wish. If you live in an area which is pretty windy, though, I would suggest not putting it onto the high setting. Some people might prefer to have slightly more depth with some of the settings on the app, and that's something I'll talk about in a second. Just going to show you some of the footage from the camera. And overall it's a solid performance. We have a very clear picture, plenty of details. As per most dash cameras, there's a fair amount of sharpening going on. Even with the wide dynamic range, in some situations I did notice that it was still blowing out some of the highlights, and you get some of that cyan shift with the skies at times. Typically dash cameras prioritize the exposure on the lower half of the screen, and obviously that makes sense. because we're trying to see what's going on and registration numbers, that kind of thing. And likewise, the photo quality is perfectly fine too. There's one thing which did stand out though. These built-in models, they typically don't seem to have the GPS built in, whereas some of the other models that they do, the universal ones, or at least one of those does have the GPS. This has a relatively fast lens, I believe it's f1.6, so it's quite good in low light conditions. For the price point this sits at, it's a pretty solid mid-range performance from the camera system. And if you have a compatible car, you have an almost seamless integration with minimal install time. Don't forget to check out some of my other videos, and I hope to see you in future ones.